Thanks for tuning in to the Keeping It Real show. I'm your host, Nafisa Peoples. We have a guest today in the house by the name of Richard Lewis. He's going to talk to us about how to keep your faith when you have trials. Welcome to the show, Rich.
Thank you for having me, Nafisa.
How does it feel to be on the Keeping It Real show?
It feels real interesting to be here.
Okay. So let's talk about how you had to keep your faith when you were married, in your marriage.
Yes.
Okay, so give us a little run through of what happened.
Of course. Well, life brings its trials and tribulations. And going through there, you got to have faith. You got to have true belief that things is going to be all right. Because you never know what someone is going through. And with my situation, from losing jobs to trying to keep a family together, it was all a struggle and hard to bear it.
So let's elaborate on that, because when you were married, you lost your form of income.
Yes.
So how did you feel when you lost your income?
I could say a little bit less of a man as far as decision making go and making things happen as a person. It kind of hindered me in my belief of how strong I really am in the inner part of me. Trying to provide for children, a spouse, and myself. It was difficult, not having the finance to do these things. So having the faith and believing that, the higher power, the Lord, will lead the way for me was the ultimate key to where I'm at today. And just going through like situations of, let's say, not being able to provide dinner right now, and as a man in America, a man who believes that he can do things and who's not on drugs and who don't really consider himself to fall into the dislikes of the world. So by being that type of person, it was kind of difficult, trying to hold my composure in life as a man.
So your wife became the breadwinner.
Yes.
And she had to step up.
Yes.
Because the Bible talks about that, that it's, the wife is the helpmeet. So if that husband is lacking in some area, it's for her to pick up and say, let me help my husband. Because where is one? So how did that feel when your wife stepped up to help?
Well, it felt good that I was blessed enough to have somebody in the corner of me in that situation. But at the same time, it felt bad because the woman, who is not necessarily supposed to be the breadwinner, was the breadwinner. And trying to keep that, composure of a man when this lady is kind of overpowering you was a little difficult. Because I still wanted that ambition of a man within inside of me to just lead forward and take control of life, But having that lady bring forth the income and all the decision making, it was a struggle,
So let me ask you this, because we know how women can be.
Yes.
Women, we like control.
Okay.
So because she had that form of control of paying the bills and taking care of the family, did she have that snappy attitude?
Well, it wasn't necessarily snappy, but it was an attitude there. And it became an attitude of dislike, because of, how I was productive in life situations, But having the faith, I knew that I was going to get out of my trials and tribulations. And it's happening right now today. I'm seeing changes and things come forward. But, it become a little difficult at times.
So how long were you without a job?
I was 4 years without a job, unemployed, because the company had went bankrupt. So, it allowed me to become unemployed. And then through that 4 years of being unemployed, I did venture out to school to become a heavy equipment operator.
Okay, so you didn't just sit still.
No, not at all.
You went to school to better yourself.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so while you were in school, she was still the breadwinner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, excuse me.
And so as you're in school, you're still thinking long term on, I got to do this so I can take care of my family.
Yes, future reference, future purposes.
Wow. So once you graduated from school, did you graduate?
Yes, I did.
Once you graduated, then did you begin working in that field?
It wasn't as simple as I thought. I tried to. I applied for jobs and things of that nature. But then they was asking me that I have other criteria to go along with the job, like CDL license. So, that put me back a little for a moment. I had to go to school for CDL license, which I retrieved.
So you didn't stop there?
No.
They said, okay, there's some other prereqs you need.
Yes.
So you said, well, let me go and get this and make sure this is happening and together.
Yes.
So you didn't give up?
Not at all.
What helped you keep your faith?
Well, just the way I was raised, and my mom raised me, my mom's and pops raised me to believe in the Lord, and God, was inside of me, keeping me strong and believing in the Father. He kept me solid, He kept me humble, He kept me filled with love and joy. I didn't really get depressed. I was down, don't get it wrong, I was down and had emotions of not providing, but having the faith in the Lord, He showed me other ways to live life and that it was going to be okay.
So let me ask you this. You said did you ever lose your faith until some days you felt like, this is overwhelming. I can't do it. I don't care. Did you ever go there? And if you want to keep it real short.
All right, I'm going to keep it real then. Yes, I have went down the road where I was having somewhat of disbelief, because things was getting real hard. It was unbearable, me being a man trying to walk the right way and not succeeding and wondering what is wrong with me, what decisions am I making that is hindering me, what are choices are I making to make me, feel less of a man? What can I do to become better? So, praying and seeing that things wasn't really panning out for me, like that, yeah, it kind of broke me down in a sense,
How did you get built back up? Because once we're broken, we need something to build us back up.
Well, that's just the Lord Almighty doing, He will come inside you and let you know that you're not alone. And He will provide the things you need. And He will give you all the tools that is needed to survive in life. Just say, for instance, like, I go down the street and I got a friend or two, and they might want me to drink some liquor. But yet still I got business to attend to earlier that day, or throughout that day, should I say. And so do I take that drink, or do I allow myself to continue on this road of success and handling business? Some will take that drink. Me, I avoid to, because I feel like there's more important things in life to accomplish than to be stuck in my sorrows of liquor.
So once you got your CDL, did you then find a job?
Yes, I did.
And so how did your wife feel when you came home and said, babe, I got a job?
Well, things did become better.
This to keep it a real show, so if you mess up, it's okay. We're human.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Like I was saying, things did get better. The attitude became different. She seemed to be respecting me more as a man. And so I could see some changes, but at the same time, what I went through before, I could still feel that, where's the boundary of that love or what we struggle and we strive, but yeah, things did get better, to answer your question.
So your faith was restored.
It was.
At that point. So you got a job and then you started experiencing something else. What happened from there?
Okay, I got a job, I started working, and the money was coming in, life was looking good. I was making plans, I was, looking to build goals in my future, and I was seeing it come about. But then another bump in the road perspired. I ended up losing my CDL license before I could go into the heavy equipment with my CDLs, because when I was doing the heavy equipment, they was asking me did I have my CDL to transport the equipment, and I did not. But now that I did have them, I was thinking I could go and make even more money, doing that. But a bump in the road, I lose my license, and now I'm back to
square one.
Yes.
So what did you do from there?
From there, I just, I prayed. I prayed that, He continued to lead me and guide me in the fashion that He wanted me to go. So with that prayer also came humbleness, and just recognizing that certain things will not necessarily hinder me for so long, that I've been here before and I know I can make it out of it. And that was the one thing that was keeping me strong, that I've been here before and I know I can make it out.
So when you made it out of it, how did you feel?
I felt spectacular. It's a good feeling. It's a relief to see that you can do things in life. As long as you stay strong and positive, that doors will open. Things will come about. So I felt wonderful.
But they don't happen overnight.
No, not at all.
Because some people think, it's going to happen tomorrow. Or, if God is with me, then, why am I going through this?
Right.
They think they're exempt from issues and trials and tests.
Well,
but we know we're not.
We're not. Not at all. Life is a struggle. We go through trials and tribulations. You know, when keeping the faith within the Lord, He'll show you certain things that He will reveal to you to make you see that there are positive things in life. So He will restore the joy back inside of you and make you feel whole again. He will do that for you.
Okay. So now I hear that you began to get high and drinking during your stay of not having a job.
Yes.
So you went through, was it a form of depression?
Well, I'll say a form of what I call ghetto infected. And
Say it again for me.
Ghetto infected.
Ghetto infected.
Yes.
Explain that to us.
Well, ghetto infected to the eye is that we have situations that perspire from the low community, which was called the ghettos, you know, the high rises where the people was struggling at life. And so some of the effects that took place in the ghetto lingered on into what we call the hood, the community, the suburbs. So, you know, I call it kind of like a ghetto effect because, you know, we always talk about the ghetto and the struggles in the ghetto. So, you know, it's just the things that perspire like from the ghettos that.
So you were looking for a form of escape.
Yes.
So you was looking for it to come through in alcohol and getting high. You thought through that it would erase what you were going through.
Erase or just leave it, at least calm down what I was feeling at least.
So did it?
I don't think so. You know, I think it was more of a hindrance than a positive thing.
And why would you say that? Because a lot of people go and they get into drugs and getting high. They say, I'm just going to get drunk. I don't want to think about life and what's going on. But the reality of it is you have to come right back to that same situation.
Right.
Because it's going to be sitting there waiting.
Yes.
So you have to keep faith in that process of
Yeah.
venturing out to who you want to be.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You got to keep faith because without faith, you have nothing.
And the Bible speaks of that.
Yes.
It says all we need is the faith the size of a mustard seed.
Yes, indeed.
And we can move mountains.
Mountains.
My goodness. Well, you seem as though you've moved a lot of mountains with your faith.
Well, yes, life was a challenging road, and it wasn't necessarily a smooth road. So there was things that had to be overconquered and moved and pushed out the way to become on a successful path of life.
Amen. Well, Richard, what message would you like to convey to our viewers that are watching, that's trying to figure out, how do I keep faith? How do I even get faith? What is faith? You know, what do I do? What would you like to convey to them to encourage somebody else?
Well, I would like to say, look into the Lord, look into the Father, pray day and night, and just believe that He will work things out, and He will come and help you through the times of need. But you gotta have that faith, you gotta have that true belief, and if you have that, things will work out for you.
Wow, that's powerful. So in other words, what you need today is faith. You find faith by getting in the Word. It says faith comes by the hearing of the Word of God. I want to encourage someone that's watching today to find your faith. Don't give up. Look forward. The best is yet to come. Your better days, they're not behind you. They're in front of you. So you know what? Push yourself. It's simple as that. If Richard did it, if I did it, you too can do it as well.
Yes.
You have to have faith. Don't lose your faith. Don't lose your hope. Get your strength back. You don't know how to do it? Get on your knees and pray. Simple as that. And guess what? God will give it to you. You only need the size of a mustard seed. That's the smallest of the seeds. So get it. Don't lose it. Richard, would you come back on the Keeping It Real show?
Most definitely, any given time, it'll be my pleasure.
It'll be your pleasure.
Yes.
But Richard, we thank you for keeping it real today. You know, we're grateful for you coming out to express to our viewers about keeping their faith and how you had to endure
Yes.
through your tests, trials, and tribulations of having faith. We all know a man without a job, that can be almost your lowest point in life. But he didn't give up. His wife had to become the breadwinner. He didn't throw the towel in and say, you know what, you and the kids stay here and I'm gone and you figure it out. So whoever's watching today, don't throw that towel in. Don't give up. You can do it. Keep that faith. If you have to go back to school, if you have to go work a part-time job, if you have to go out and do other things besides selling drugs, killing and robbing people, guess what? You can do it. Don't lose your faith. You can do it. We'll be back to you on our next segment, okay? And thanks for tuning in. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Thank you. So much.